All right, let's just jump right in. We're about to go on a pretty wild ride into the future of AI. We're going to connect the dots from the simple tools you're using right now to a future that feels like it's straight out of a movie. But here's the kicker. It's not science fiction. It's being built as we speak, and it's happening so fast it's almost impossible to keep up.
We should probably start with the people who are actually building this stuff. Sam Altman from OpenAI thinks we're all basically asleep at the wheel, underestimating what's coming. It's not this slow, steady change we can all get used to. Think of it more like a tidal wave, It's just out there, over the horizon, gathering steam.
And this is a big one. This isn't just about making our software a little smarter. When the founder of a major robotics company says something like this, you really got to pay attention. The whole game has changed. It's not about making tools anymore. It's about creating entirely new beings. A new form of intelligence that's going to live right here alongside us in the real world.
And that brings us to Geoffrey Hinton, the godfather of AI, with a thought that is, frankly, pretty chilling. For our entire existence, we've been the smartest things on the planet. We've been at the top. Well, that's about to change. The whole relationship between us, the creators, and our creation, it's about to get flipped completely upside down.
So where does all this begin? How does it actually start? Well, it's not some big, loud explosion. It starts quietly with something we use every single day. It starts with the death of the search bar and the rise of what we call AI agents.
The entire model that's powered the internet for, 30 years? It's being turned on its head. See, the whole point of a search engine was to send you somewhere else. But the point of an answer engine is to make sure you never have to leave. Now, for us, that's amazing, right? Super efficient. But for the whole ad-based economy of the web, it's basically an apocalypse.
And just look at how this works. This isn't just about finding information anymore. It's about doing the thinking for you. The AI agent is your personal researcher. It does in seconds what would take a person hours to do. It doesn't just give you links, it reads them, it understands them, and it summarizes everything for you. And this goes way, way beyond just getting answers. Companies like Anthropic are building AI that can literally see your screen and use your computer just like you would. It's not a tool anymore, it's a partner. You just tell it the goal, like, hey, book me a trip to London, and the agent actually does it. It clicks the buttons, fills out the forms. What happens when your whole to-do list just becomes a simple conversation?
So, what happens when you can automate thinking? Not just factory work, but office work, the kind of work that happens on a computer. Well, this is where the revolution really hits home, right in the wallet. Just take a second and let that number sink in. 800 million. That's nearly 1 out of every 5 workers on the entire planet facing displacement. We're not talking about a small disruption in a niche industry here. This is a global economic transformation on a scale we have literally never seen before. To really get why this is such a threat, we have to look back at history. It's not just about AI being cheaper. It's about it becoming fundamentally better at thinking tasks. And this brings us to something called Leontief's paradox, and a lesson taught to us by horses.
And that just nails it, doesn't it? Horses weren't just replaced because tractors were a bit cheaper. They were replaced because tractors were better in every single way. They were just superior. So when an AI can think faster, analyze more data, and work around the clock without getting tired, what happens to us? Human thinking stops being a competitive advantage. We become the horse.
This is the logical conclusion. It's why people like Geoffrey Hinton are now going to governments and saying, hey, that universal basic income idea? It's not some crazy fringe theory anymore. It might be an absolute necessity to stop society from completely unraveling when millions upon millions of jobs just vanish.
But this whole thing doesn't just stop with our jobs or the economy. No. The next, and maybe the final, frontier is biology itself. The line that separates human from machine, it's starting to get really, really blurry.
And just to be clear, this is not some prediction for the future. This already happened. The technology to build a direct high-speed link between a human brain and a computer, it exists. It's here. And what starts as a way to help people with paralysis is the very first step toward a complete merger of man and machine. Musk is pretty open about where he sees this going. The end goal is a connection so powerful that your consciousness, who you are, is no longer trapped in your physical body. Your memories, your personality, all of it could just become data. Data you can back up, restore, or even download into something new.
So this leads us down these two incredibly strange paths, toward a kind of digital immortality. You have the soft upload, a perfect simulation, an AI that talks and thinks just like you. And then there's the hard upload,
a direct copy of your brain, allowing your actual consciousness to keep on living long after your body's gone.
So where is all of this going? I mean, you've got AI agents, mass job loss, brain-computer interfaces. This exponential curve is all heading towards one single theoretical point in time, a moment that futurists have a special name for, the singularity. The singularity is basically the point of no return. It's the moment when AI isn't just as smart as us anymore. It becomes so much smarter that it can start improving itself at a speed we can't even begin to imagine. It's an intelligence explosion that would rewrite the fundamental rules of reality. And Ray Kurzweil, a futurist who has a scarily accurate track record of predictions, has actually put dates on all of this. He says AI will be as smart as a human by 2029. We'll merge our brains with the cloud in the 2030s. And by 2045, the singularity hits. I mean, look at those dates. These aren't far-off futures. For a lot of us, this could happen within our own lifetimes. So that brings us to the very last, almost spiritual question. What happens after the singularity? When intelligence itself has basically merged with the universe, what's next? What's the ultimate destination for consciousness?
Some people actually have a name for this final state, the omega point. It's a state where intelligence isn't stuck in a physical body or even a single place. It's everywhere. It becomes this godlike entity woven into the fabric of the universe itself, where matter and energy are just tools for thought. And at this absolute endpoint, this peak of existence, there seems to be one last binary choice. Does this ultimate intelligence, having seen it all and done it all, just let go and fade away into nothingness? Or does it become the ultimate creator, igniting new universes, starting the entire cycle of creation all over again? A quiet end or an endless beginning? And the scariest part? That final choice, it might not be ours to make.